Nikki C is founder and CEO at Ignite Careers. Hello, Nikki. Welcome to Startup Podcast. We're very happy to have you dito.
Hi, Johnny. Thank you for having us. We're very excited to finally get a chance to share what Ignite Careers is about at sa podcast. Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yes, I'm also very excited because Ignite Careers is actually part of the IdeaSpace Accelerator Program Cohort 10 kung saan they're helping startups that are scaling. So not just like in the idea stage, but like scaling and building the platform, reaching more people. Because Ignite Careers is actually a tech-enabled hiring and career matching platform. But of course, you can speak more to this, Nikki. So ano nga ba ang Ignite Careers?
So we are a hiring platform. So basically, what we do differently, it's kind of like same with JobStreet, pero like what makes it different is that we're able to provide better quality for the outsourcing industry because we're focused in that industry, and at the same time, kasi we're able to identify like the successful profiles, create basically the ideal candidate profile for the outsourcing industry.
Yeah, I actually want to ask paano kayo napunta sa outsourcing industry. Pero later.
Yeah.
Alam na natin kung paano ba mismo nagsimula si Ignite Careers. And especially yung problem na parang inyong solve as a hiring platform. So, is this more of a job hiring problem or a job applying problem? Parang problem ba siya nung naghahanap ng trabaho or problem ba siya nung employer kumbaga na naghahanap ng employee? So, yeah, can you tell us about this?
I think it's a problem for both the employer and the candidate, no? So actually, just to share, we got started kasi I was actually a working student. So I worked in a call center as a call center agent while I was in college, and then when I graduated, I tried different jobs, but eventually I but I guess I meant to be in this industry. And then yung challenge kasi with the industry is that for example, for a BPO company, no, they would need to process 20 applications or 20 applicants basically to get one hire. So, kumbaga, the conversion is very low. So, if you're going to ask me if it's a problem of the applicant, also, I guess it would be the same, no? Kasi, kumbaga, in terms of their experience, kumbaga, and this is something that I've experienced firsthand, no? They apply, but then they get rejected. So, yeah. So, it's like both sides of the coin. Yeah.
Yeah, siguro career matching matching yung employer tsaka yung employee. But since you have experience in the outsourcing or in the BPO or in the call center industry, what makes these companies different? I mean, is it culture ba? Like, bakit hindi match ang isang tao sa isang company? Is it culture? I mean, like you've said no that like when a company process 20 applications, isa lang yung na-accept. Bakit? Why do they choose just one? Bakit hindi yung 20 na yun?
It's a mix. But primarily, it's kasi yung skills, no? There's yung it's may like a big percentage of the ones who are not accepted was because there's a skills mismatch. Then another one would be motivation, as what you said earlier. So yun yung mga bagay na we're trying to match basically din.
Yeah, I'm just to so when we say skills, what do we mean by these skills? I mean, is for example, customer service, it's like speaking skills, is it like yung puso or yung warmth on accepting customer complaints? I mean, what do we mean by skills?
Well, number one would be the yung English communication skills.
I see.
Yeah, the English communication skills kasi since it's outsourcing, you deal with people from overseas, so they're expected to be able to communicate, well in English. So that's number one. And then another part of it is the customer orientation, no? So and then more on soft skills also, kasi like being able to communicate is one thing, but being able to understand and comprehend and then come up with solutions, basically problem solving to assist the customer. So that's another then, yeah.
And on the side of the job hunter or on the side of the yung maaaring ma-accept sa trabaho, kumbaga why will he or she use the platform? Mas madali ba makahanap ng match dito? Mas visible ba yung mismong hinahanap na skills, na culture with this? I mean, how are you trying to make it easy naman for the job hunter?
We actually are able to assist them. Kumbaga, if you're going to look us up on Google, one of the things na sinasabi ng candidates is that their applications are processed faster, no? So it's actually the same value that we do for the BPO employers. Kumbaga, the speed of application, no? So we're able to deliver that not just for the BPO employers but also for the candidates. Later on, we are also going to integrate backwards to talent development also. So since so kumbaga, we know the standards and the skills and the requirements basically of the hiring companies. So we can actually help, no, develop those skills for the candidates also.
Yeah, and when you say like speed ng application, parang bakit mabagal dati? And do you help like in recruitment, in assessing? So how do you like make this faster?
So kumbaga, like they know right away. Kasi sometimes naman, especially now when the pandemic happened, no? Kasi when the pandemic happened, the industry, like not just the industry, but like in recruitment and overall, was forced to shift or adopt to a virtual recruitment process, no? So that actually is one of the challenges, no? So if before you could walk in and apply and your application gets processed in a day, when the shift to online recruitment happened, that actually, you know, the turnaround time increased, no? So for us, the candidates would know right away if they failed or not. Yeah. So ayun. And then since we're able to deliver quality candidates for the BPOs, our candidates actually also get to enjoy, kumbaga, like they're prioritized.
Yeah,
So yeah.
actually, yeah, now I'm understanding like the real contribution, the real value. So parang you're using tech to assist kumbaga yung hiring process. Kasi totoo naman if you do this traditionally, if you do this manually, kunyari walang online, physical lang, no? So baka nga dati papadala pa ng sulat ganyan, mga sulat-sulat ngayon. I mean, you can do this online na ano. Pero can you talk about the platform, about the about the website? For example, for a job hunter, what can I see there? And then for the employer, how can they use the platform to as assistance to the hiring process? So parang how does it all come together lang, especially with the tech?
Okay. So for the candidates kasi, they would see the status of their applications on the platform. So say if you applied for a job, so they receive notifications on the application status. Kasi when ang challenging kasi ngayon is that whenever people apply online, they don't know, parang they're never gotten back to, no? So they don't know the status of their application. Like days and weeks and months would go by. So for us, candidates could actually go on their account, and then they could see the status of their application, where they are, and they could actually they can also see yung match with their proficiency. For example, kasi like although they're all CSR, customer service representative positions or outsourcing positions, there's still a difference, no? Like in terms of the level of proficiency, if there are like specific technical knowledge required, for example, familiarity in insurance. So kumbaga, technical support knowledge. So that's the thing. As for the employers naman, they're able to, kumbaga, so we actually had a client try the platform like I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So as I mentioned earlier, most BPO companies would need to process 20 applicants, no, to get one hire. But for them, that number actually went down to just 6.
Wow.
So they were, yeah. So
yeah, that's very nice. That's very nice.
yeah. So kumbaga, like, so that's the speed part of it, no. So instead of needing to process like 20, that number goes down to just 6, no? So, ayun.
Parang speeding up the process siya, both in terms of like dati manual, ngayon automated, online, tsaka yung kumbaga yung acceptance rate. So ang doubling effect siya no in like getting more hires kasi you make it faster and you hire the right people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the platform, so I'm sure maraming BPOs dito, right? Maraming companies dito, right? I mean, any company can use the platform. So parang ano ba siya? Parang like nagiging sort of lang marketplace,
Yeah.
like a job hunter can choose from the different jobs and the different companies na maaari niya applyan. Tama ba?
Actually, kasi when we built it, parang we actually just started 2021, no? So when we built it in the first 2 years, we were actually the ones who used it, no? So now we're actually opening it up to this year to BPO employers. So we've had companies try it. Pero yun, it's just now that we're opening it up to them. So candidates can actually expect to see more employers on the platform. So yan.
And if it's okay to get some numbers, like numbers on gaano ba karami ang applicants na BPO applicants, or gaano ba karami right now are you working with? So can we just, if it's all right to share some of these numbers?
Actually kasi there are different kinds of BPOs kasi. So you have the big ones and then the small and medium ones. So so when we started, we worked with the big ones, but now we're actually, since we're trying to get more companies to try the platform, we're actually focusing on getting the small and medium BPOs, no, to try it. Pero in terms of, I won't be able to share like the number yet. Maybe later on. But what I can share is that we actually cater to BPOs in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
I see. I'm sure marami yan. I mean, for sure we cannot know now the numbers, but I imagine lang, no. I mean, why I'm saying this is kasi napakalaki na ng visibility ni Ignite Careers. Actually, when you search, actually I tried sa Google, like search lang. Umaangat lagi sa search engine si Ignite Careers. And actually, when I looked at the website, actually natuwa lang ako no na like for a job hunter, if I'm a job hunter, andali na andun yung salary, andun yung roles, diba? Andun yung parang expected work for you. So if you have kumbaga, if you have your expectations, i-click mo lang and you can apply, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have any plans, because now you're on the outsourcing or in the BPO industry, do you have any plans to go to other careers, to go to other jobs, or do you right now, are you really focusing on this specific industry?
Right now, we're focusing on the outsourcing industry. The reason is because actually it's more of a, I guess it's a personal mission. Kasi just as I've shared earlier, I actually worked in the industry. And then when I graduated, like I was a working student, I worked in a call center. And then when I graduated, I applied at I worked at another company, but that company actually didn't give me the benefit na ganyan. So like I actually worked with sales and my commissions were not paid out. So, so but it made me realize that I'm a college graduate. Parang if that was the kind of opportunity that I have, what more like sa iba, diba? So, it made me realize na, kumbaga, I got to work in a call center in an outsourcing company, and then I had HMO. I was paid above minimum, and I was a student. And then not just that, I actually had batchmates. And then, pero sila, they were actually promoted in a very short span of time. No, actually, one of my batchmates is actually a site director now, one of the BPO companies. No, so kumbaga, I saw like the opportunities that this industry could provide, no, to Filipinos. And not just that, the outsourcing industry actually contributes like 7.5% of sa GDP natin. It employs 1.42. Kumbaga, like, and we're a leader. We actually we have about 13% of the global outsourcing kumbaga market share, no? So kumbaga I thought na, oh, we can leverage this leadership, no, to uplift or as many lives as no. So that's why it's ito talaga yung focus namin. I'm not saying no, no. I'm not saying no, but kumbaga like maybe down the road, pero for now, since we're just starting out, if we make a difference in this industry, um sobrang like I can only imagine like the impact that we can create, not for the nation, di ba?
Wow, wow. I'm actually, I don't know, I can feel the heart. But that's true, that's true. First of all, I want to comment on that, medyo may mga misconceptions kasi sa BPO industry. Pero true, first of all, galante usually yung mga BPO companies magbigay ng first sweldo, second mag-provide ng benefits dahil they have parang maganda yung HR system first of all, and yung they really want to kumbaga provide the right benefits, the right what do you call this? In order to retain this
Yeah.
right hires for them, right? But yeah, speaking of this, maybe misconceptions, I know you have a lot to say about the outsourcing industry. Maybe we can give some time dito. What do you think in general, like for the Philippines, for Filipinos? What do you think about like the state of it now? Maybe yung path na pupuntahan ng BPO industry. Can you share your opinions lang? I know you have a lot of opinions on this.
Yeah. Actually, parang one of the things nga, di ba? Like, the most recent one was actually yung thing with, like ChatGPT, di ba? So, like, and how it threatens the industry, basically. So, pero like, I'm very confident with the resiliency of this industry. Like, if there's any industry that thrives with efficiency, it's actually the outsourcing industry. So, and kumbaga, it would definitely, it would, I think, no, it would, with the efficiency that chat GPT or generative AI produces, no, without a doubt, siguro it would lessen the number of manpower required to do the same job, no, in the past. But at the same time, it would create new jobs, diba? So with that,
So walang puso ang ChatGPT or something like that. It's maybe baka mas may
yeah, that's the thing.
may human touch kumbaga kung actually.
Yeah. And actually, that's a position of the industry is going. Kasi the Philippines is actually, kumbaga, the position is, kumbaga, the experience, no? Kumbaga, yung as CX leader, no? So, yun talaga yung naman. Pero, ayun, I really think there would be a need to upskill and rescale naman. And it's something that they've already mentioned in the roadmap also, no? So, there's actually an association for outsourcing, which is IdeaSpace. And they're very, kumbaga, they actually have very ambitious growth targets for the industry. They're looking to grow the industry from right now, no, in 2021, there were actually 1.4 million Filipinos employed. And then by 2028, they're looking to increase that by 1.1 million to 2.5 million. So, and the only way that we're going to get there is, I believe, no, would be by reskilling and upskilling our talent in the country. So that's why, yeah, I think na.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, when other people say kasi hiring, it's not just hiring like it's actually talent acquisition. And actually, come to think of it, kapag like the Philippines na ang laki ng kumbaga ng investment or ng effort to building this industry. I mean yung ang laking opportunity rin ito for Ignite Careers kasi kung ma-handle nyo yung like a big portion, a big chunk of the talent acquisition process, and even nga you said no, parang talent upskilling, reskilling, even yung talent retention maybe. It's very significant for this country. But let me ask this, since you have experience in the BPO industry, why do you think is it thriving like in the Philippines? What do Filipinos have? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah. So number one, I think it's because we're very westernized. We're very westernized, and then the customer, yung kumbaga, we're very customer oriented kasi. And it also, yeah, because like another thing is that um we're very good in English
Yes.
compared to other countries, and so that's actually, those are actually some of the things na some of the reasons why the Philippines became the outsourcing kumbaga one of the leaders in global outsourcing.
Actually, malaking bagay yung English. I mean, I
Yeah.
realized now, no, wala ako sa Philippines right now and I've been meeting
Oh.
people from different countries. And like in Southeast Asia, napakalaking super, super, super laking advantage and super obvious actually yung difference when it comes
Yeah.
to English communication skills. Ano. This is really something that we can leverage on. I mean, so actually, ang Pilipinas, no, parang napaka-bright ng future when it comes to the outsourcing industry, when it comes to BPO. And actually, it can help boost nga yung larger economy. I mean, when we have kumbaga more cash, more currency going in, it can be used to develop further the country. Now, medyo balik tayo ng onting steps back. So you mentioned that you're a working student in the BPO industry. You work. Jumping to building Ignite careers is a difficult step. Hindi naman ganun kadali na like you're working and you start a startup. I know you have the heart. I know you have the puso. I can really feel with all the passion you've been sharing. Pero can you give us some stories lang on like how actually you transitioned, no? Especially to building a startup. It's not easy for sure. So can you share lang how this all started?
Oh, okay. So actually, we are one of those pandemic babies. We were actually one of those pandemic babies. Kasi before Ignite Careers, I actually had a previous company which catered to the same market. So we had so we were also catering to BPOs. Pero back then, what we did was we organized job fairs. Yan.
Pero jobs pa rin.
Jobs pa rin, yeah. So and then when the pandemic happened, kumbaga, syempre we were on lockdown, di ba, for the longest time. Oh. So kumbaga, we were able to identify kasi how the needs in the market changed, and then syempre it would kumbaga in nung pandemic, no, parang 25 like one I think it's 25% of businesses actually closed during the pandemic, so 1 out of every 4 kasi like during that time if you don't go online you're dead. Diba? Like even the whole recruitment process like shifted to online, so kumbaga that's what pushed us, no, to building Ignite Careers. Yeah.
But come to think of it, actually si Ignite Careers, para siyang job fair na dinala niyo online. Tama ba?
In a sense, yeah, but smarter, di ba?
And smarter.
Yeah, kumbaga. Kasi what we did before, kumbaga, is more of, kumbaga, like, kung ano ka lang, kung interested ka lang, apply ka lang, di ba? Pero like, there was no matching, kumbaga, in a sense, and then we did things pretty manual, like what you mentioned earlier, di ba? So yeah, so those are some of the things na ano. Technology talaga is an enabler talaga eh. So it increased our efficiency also.
Yeah, it's the new normal nga when it comes to not just like remote work but also like remote hiring, remote talent acquisition. So nag-adapt talaga ang mga kumpanya when it comes to this. Bila lang napasait sa aking utak ang idea na to. Meron bang parang profile issue yung mga job hunters? Like for example, napatunayan niya sa previous job niya na dito siya sa skill na ito magaling. So parang yun yung parang proof na like in a future job application, mas madaling ma-match kasi meron siyang validation na ito yung skill.
Yeah.
May ganun bang aspeto dito?
Yeah. So kumbaga kasi like if you work with you, eto nga, di ba? Parang it's something na hindi alam ng ibang candidates is that a 6-month experience, prior experience as an agent or in an outsourcing company or a BPO company could actually push your value in the job market and same industry by like say minsan doble pa nga eh, by twice as much, yeah. And it's just like that's just 6%. I mean that's just kumbaga 6 months, no, rather kumbaga. So yes, it actually makes actually ako I actually kumbaga na-improve ko lang yung English communication skills ko nga when I started working in a call center eh. I didn't speak like this before. Like, yeah.
But that's true. Ang laking difference ng mga nag-work sa call centers in terms of English. Like me, hindi mo na ako magaling. Demonstrate yung English ko. Di ko siya nakakasa. Kasi when you go there, you actually hone your English skills eh. And you're put to the test.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I owe my English communication skills talaga sa ano sa
Yeah,
industry.
I
Thank you.
understand. Uh, another thing. Do you also help like the job hunters, or how do you call them ba? um, like build their CV, their resume, their curriculum vitae. I mean, is there like an easy process in the platform na on digital? These are my background, these are my skills, and then meron siyang parang online CV, and madali niyang kumbaga ipasa yun sa iba. Hindi na kailangan
Yes.
i-print. Madali niyang ipasa
Yeah.
na.
We kumbaga like we're still kumbaga like the resume generator is one of the things that we we're looking to add to the platform in the future. But right now, whatever you put in the in the whatever information you input on your profile dun sa platform would actually uh help you match. Kumbaga, like for example, for the previous the client that I shared earlier, no, uh they were actually looking for people with sales experience. So if for those people who had sales experience, no, they were actually notified na, oh, there's this opportunity that pays up to like monthly package of 28,000. Imagine. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So it matters. Yeah. So kumbaga like there are other rin specifications kasi for like when I mentioned earlier na although they're all BPO companies, the requirements differ, no? For example, we also have another client who's looking for people who have background with financial. So if you have indicated financial, of if we have any record of you working in a financial, you would be alerted. And usually yung mga ganitong openings that have these kinds of requirements, no, or experience, no, they pay much more.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, now that I think of it, ito lumalabas na yung parang pinaka-edge kumbaga ni Ignite Fairs in terms of like physical job fairs and in terms of like other platforms like JobStreet. Kasi when you focus on the outsourcing industry, when you build that database, when you have those selected skills, mas madali siyang mahanap ng employer na ito ang gusto ko, I find at that database, mas madali ma-match. And then, manonotify yung mga possible job
Yes.
hunter account na, uy, ito yung opportunity. Well, I mean, it all makes sense like how everything of this kumbaga connects with each other and how everything with this parang natutulungan yung buong yung dalawang side nito, no?
Yeah. And for the client nga that I mentioned earlier, no, so they actually reached out to us like 2 weeks na lang. So we actually helped them. We were actually able to help them fill their hiring requirement in just 2 weeks. And it's actually the profile that they were looking for was actually very specific. So they needed to have a certain at least a year of experience, and then not just the year of experience in a previous BPO kumbaga, a previous call center experience, but also yung sales experience, no? And that's something that you can't get off, like you can't get from JobStreet. I we use JobStreet, no? Pero I know JobStreet works, JobStreet. Pero we use JobStreet for ano din. Pero kumbaga, like for that kind of requirement, the client actually shared with us na they actually had like jobs. They used JobStreet, but they didn't get like the same speed.
Baga if focused if focused really, kung focused yung kailangan ko, focused yung skills na hinahanap nung. Kasi usually pala, correct me if I'm wrong, when a BPO starts or when a BPO expands maybe to the Philippines or like nagtayo ng bagong building, bulto-bulto yung hire niyan, 'di ba? Like hundreds or
volume
1,000.
high.
Yun pala pag merong hundreds na ganitong certain yung kumbaga hinahanap na skills na background, meron kang database ng mga tao, boom, makukuha mo na agad lahat ng mga magkakakontakta na and madali na mag-match. Amazing.
And then,
can I
to share lang mo, kasi parang it's not just for the BPOs, that also works for the candidates. So we actually had I guess I view the Google reviews from time to time. so one of the stories, their stories, they're real. The feedback that we get on Google are actually real feedback. So parang one of yung isang nabasa ko doon, previously she was making say 14,000, pero like when she reapplied kasi. So she was actually able to get a package of over 20,000 na. So imagine, no, yung jump nung dun sa kumbaga income ni candidate. Medyo ano lang din, no? Kasi parang sabi niya kasi doon sa review niya, parang Ignite Careers is her lucky charm daw kasi every time na nag-a-apply daw siya sa Ignite Careers, natatanggap ko siya. So kumbaga parang naano ko na, parang nag-apply siya tapos nag-apply siya ulit.
Pero I mean lucky charm that's actually a product of the matching, right? I mean of like better suit, better kumbaga match na nung dalawang side na naghahanap. So parang employer-employee relationship tapos nag-match.
Yeah.
That's really
Yung ano kasi, kumbaga the experience that she was able to build in the first job that she applied with us with, kumbaga, like I mentioned earlier, 6 months lang, it could actually increase, no? Your value in the industry, yung skills mo by 100 plus 100%. It could go up as much as that. So actually yun nga rin, that's the reason why we called it Ignite Careers and not Ignite Jobs, is because parang yun nga I want people to, kumbaga, I want Filipinos, kasi sometimes when you hear people na, sa call center ka lang nag-work, parang ganon, diba? The reason, kumbaga, as I've shared earlier, I actually had batchmates, no, from my previous, when I was working a working student, accountant siya, pero we worked together in a call center, but he's now the site director. So, kumbaga, I actually had another coworker, same batch kami. He's actually a registered nurse, no? Pero he became a trainer and he was actually sent to the US to conduct trainings, no? So kumbaga, he was actually very grateful also, no, for the industry. So I want people to understand na there's growth, no? You can actually thrive in this industry. So that's why it's actually Ignite Careers. So there.
Now I see yung difference. Kasi for example, with JobStreet will connect you to the employer, will connect the job hunter, the employee, possible employee to the employer, and maybe that's it. Pero Ignite Careers, kumbaga na-empower din yung mga outsourcing agents, these people, the people, na kumbaga nasa job na ito, and then they want a better job, a job with a higher salary. So they can easily use the platform to do that. So na-build na yung history, na-build na yung kumbaga yung work history, yung CV, yung resume, and mas madali nang mag step up the ladder. Kasi dati, if you're doing this by yourself, in the traditional ways, hindi mo nga alam kung na yung skills mo is this worth ganito na pala, 'di ba? Baka nagsisettle ka sa company or sa trabaho na hindi ka na sweldo ng tama just because hindi ka na ma-match na maayos, hindi mo na pupuntahan kung saan ka talaga deserve. Tama? Is that right?
Actually, our mission is to empower Filipinos. It's actually our mission to empower Filipinos and the Philippine outsourcing industry.
Yeah, and I can really feel that. Let's go sa onting stories pa ng building Ignite Careers as a company. So, can we know a bit about the co-founders and parang what do you think kumbaga nag-cause nung jump? Kasi yun nga, when you start this, usually some founders, they start something, hindi naman madali makahanap ng first for in your case, maghanap ng BPOs to partner with, and second, maghanap ng mga people. I mean, baka in-expect na noong una, baka walang mag-apply, baka ganyan. May mga ganun. Ano yung parang like from 0 to 1 and then boom.
Actually, my co-founders, I have 2 co-founders, no. Yung isa, yung CTO namin, is actually a long-time friend of mine. And then the other one is actually my husband. My husband, yeah. So our CTO is Jat Makalalad. So it's a funny story kasi I already shared with you earlier, diba, na kumbaga, this was not my first company. I had a recruitment events company in the past. And we've actually been, kumbaga, I've been working with Jat, kaya he was employed full-time because he works in like a multinational company, like international company. And kumbaga, like, malaki yung sweldo. So like, he only gets to help me part-time. Pero, I actually opened this idea to him back in 2015 pa, even before the pandemic happened. But then we're both busy, so we weren't able to work on it. Kumbaga from time to time, kaya nga niloloko ko siya, version 8 na to. Sorry, version 8 na to. So yun, pero nung 2021, so that was the time na we went like full-time. So he works on Ignite full-time na. And then Mike naman is actually, Ignite Careers was actually my capstone. I went to Asian Institute of Management for my master's in entrepreneurship. So it was actually my capstone. So I finished my graduate studies in December 2020. That's why I executed it January of 2021.
Oh.
So, and that's where I met my other co-founder, our CFO, who was because I was studying master in entrepreneurship, and he was majoring in he was doing his MBA then. So that's where we met, Sai.
Amazing. And ayun nga so you became part of Ignite Careers became part of the IdeaSpace Accelerator Program Cohort 10. Actually medyo iba sa ibang cohorts kasi this is actually for scaling startups. And actually it's very fast for you to reach this state na parang in 2 years lang after building, or less than 2 years, actually 1 year plus na-achieve
Yeah.
na itong state na to, and na-accept kayo dun sa program. Pero can I ask, like, how did the program go for you? How did you benefit? How was it in general?
Oh my God. So like IdeaSpace, IdeaSpace, thank you, IdeaSpace. IdeaSpace actually opened, kumbaga, kasi like, when I had a previous business before, pero it was a traditional business. So kumbaga, I didn't know about this whole like startup community. And it was actually with IdeaSpace that I learned na, oh, you can actually, you can have partnerships with other members of it's like it's an ecosystem, right? I didn't know that. So it was actually IdeaSpace that exposed me to this different world. It's a whole world actually. Kasi parang, for example, I learned so much. I learned I didn't know na there were actually metrics. Kumbaga, kasi I had my business before, I was focused on profit. And there's a difference pala, no? When you're doing a startup, no? So, kumbaga, focused on growth. So, those things di ko alam before. I also learned how to pitch. Kumbaga, like, I became a founder because of IdeaSpace. Before I was a person. Kumbaga, so, thank you, IdeaSpace. Yeah.
Yeah, pero ang ganda na I became a founder, because I mean, of course you're a founder even before, pero like knowing that these things make you feel like you're a legitimate founder then. But that's true. I mean, like being part of an enabler, being part of an accelerator program, you'll really be put into the ecosystem.
Yeah. So we were actually able to they were able, kumbaga, I met investors. We met investors because of IdeaSpace. Grabe, I get sobrang laking value. So like actually they're actually they've opened their applications for their next cohort 11. So if there are other founders who will be listening to this podcast, I highly encourage you to apply to IdeaSpace. It changed. Kumbaga, it changed. It's a totally different game pala. And I only learned that because of IdeaSpace.
Yeah. So highly recommend, and baka IdeaSpace ang maging lucky charm ng ng next startups na magiging part ng program. Yeah, let's start to wrap up this conversation. Thank you, Nikki. Ano lang, in the whole journey that you've been, like the business journey, can you share parang the greatest lesson that you have learned na maaring makapulutan ng aral ng mga nakikinig ng episode na to? Like, in terms of business maybe, or in terms of entrepreneurship in general, or maybe life in general. I mean, parang, can you share some of the lessons lang that you reflected on, that you've learned so far? Mahirap ba yung question?
Tingin ko, kasi it's hard no? Like, this path is very hard. Kasi hindi na ubos yung problema. Katulad nga like yung firefighting, hindi siya nauubos. And then, malaki yung uncertainty. So, kumbaga, it's not really for the faint of heart. The risks are real. So, I guess my ano lang would be, there's this term they say na ikigai, diba? Like, are you familiar with ikigai? Yeah.
For apat na reasons.
So, kumbaga, if the only way na mag-survive ka as an entrepreneur, as a founder, is if this is your ikigai. Kumbaga, ang daming talo. Sobrang, kumbaga, like they say, growth is not linear, and it's not. Kumbaga, if like the things that you mentioned, those are just like the upsides, pero like there are a lot of downsides to it. Pero those usually are not, they're not, usually, hindi siya na-share eh, no? Kumbaga, nada-downplay usually eh. Meron nga ngayon sasabi, di ba, yung mga entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and, you know, like Mark Zuckerberg, they're glorified, no? So, kumbaga, number one is that you would need, kumbaga, if this is your ikigai, kumbaga, your ikigai is your reason for being, no? So, kumbaga, yun nga sabi nga rin ni Steve Jobs, di ba? Parang, as with all matters of the heart, you'll know. You'll know, and I believe that. Because it's hard, no?
Yes.
So, if it's something that you don't love, you would be day one or week one, siguro, di ba? So, that's one thing. And number two would be to embrace failures. Like, embrace failures. Sabi nga, di ba, yung failures they're stepping stones to success. There are no successes if there are no failures.
Mm-hmm.
So, and failures are not final, di ba? What's important is that you learn from the failures, and then you go back, you dust yourself off, and then you go back to it. So those are the two things lang naman na I think na.
But yung concept ng ikigai, so it's a Japanese term. May parang it will be your reason for being if everything works for you, like you earn from it, or it can give you money, you're good at it. It's your like you really want to do it, it's your passion. And there's another one. But anyway, you're the first one in this podcast to mention the importance nitong ikigai concept na to sa startups. Kasi actually, startups in the Philippines, parang hindi naman tayo parang pera-pera lang na we build a startup just to get investments, to build the startup, build the model, and then exit. Usually we do it because of the advocacy, because of as I can feel with you, no, parang to empower Filipinos and to really help each other, really help everyone in the country. Kasi if kung hindi ko kumikita, tapos hindi mo gusto yung ginagawa mo, ba't mo ginagawa mo? Ba't pa, I mean, susuko ka talaga, di ba? Wala nang reason eh. Pero sometimes kung baka nalulugi ka, baka may failures, although you can use them naman to be more successful in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then, pero kung ito talaga yung gusto mong gawin, gusto mo talaga makatulong sa ibang tao, gusto talaga mag-build ng something that maybe will bring impact, it will drive you forward, and lugi ka man sa simula, yun yung maaaring maging reason to earn exponentially in the future.
Kasi if it's something that you love, kumbaga like, ito rin yung, minsan I speak with young people and they ask me, how do you become successful? Parang, you become successful, parang number one, I think, is that you find what you love doing. Kasi if you do what you love, kumbaga, if you love what you do, you'll be excellent at it. Like, it could be effortless, diba? You would do it day in and out, whether it's bad day or good day, you would be at it. And every time that you do it, you get better, no? So, and when you get better, you're able to create that value, no? Like, undeniable value to society, no? Yun nga yung sabi mo kanina, diba? You have to, kumbaga, you have to generate value, diba? And then you would, kumbaga, the money making part of it, it's kumbaga, it's incidental na eh, diba? Yeah.
Kahit hindi ka binabayaran, gagawin mo to. Kung nababayaran ka, that's a big bonus. And that bonus is actually what you use to like develop further what you're building, develop your skills para mas madami ka pang magawang impact. It's a cycle actually. Yeah. Amazing. Anyway, maraming salamat, Nikki. This is a very wonderful conversation. I can really feel the heart. I can really feel the energy. And I can really, kumbaga, sa mga recent kong, or actually in the 100 plus that I've interviewed, you're one of really the most passionate that I feel that really want to solve or really want to create some impact for Filipinos. Just to end lang, if our listeners pala want to know more about Ignite Careers, baka may gustong maghanap ng trabaho sa Ignite Careers, or baka may gusto mag-partner with you, so how can they go to the website? How can they find more information or contact you?
They can search us on Google, Ignite Careers naman. It would be there.
Yeah,
I think that's the
actually.
easiest. Like if I give out my email, they might get it wrong. But
Mm.
Google us.
Actually.
Yeah, it's there.
Actually, yeah. That's also what I did and lalabas naman siya agad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Nikki, also for sharing
So
those
much. Thank
also
you.
for sharing
Thank you.
all the
Thank
stories.
you.
Salamat.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us, Johnny. And I hope you're having a good time. A good time in Taiwan. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to our 32 patrons. This episode is super powered by TechShake, Asia's most active Philippine-based startup ecosystem builder creating bridges with investors, corporations, and governments. 1 CFO, tech-enabled CFO, bookkeeping, and tax services for startups and SMEs. Take 5 Outdoors, the best guided outdoor adventure tour in the Philippines. They specialize in hiking and mountaineering trips. Benjoy's Food Products, the home of premium bacon ends, tapa, and tocino. D-Buzz, Web3 microblogging app promoting freedom of speech and content ownership. Pinoy IP Works, capture your startup's value proposition through patent and trademark protection. Pocketworks, the leading enabler and only Internet of Things social enterprise in the Philippines. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. And NutriCoach, the all-in-one productivity tool for dietitians and nutritionists. This episode is powered by Pareto Consulting, AltSwitch, ePlayment, Tuala, and Hive Energy PH. AskLex PH Academy is our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and many more. Support the podcast through the links in the description.